Canada Post is on strike again, with 55,000 postal workers walking off the job, halting mail and parcel delivery across the country. This isn't just another labor dispute, it's the second strike in less than a year, triggering a crisis that could permanently change how Canadians send and receive mail. Today, we're breaking down what's happening, why it matters, and how this could destroy Canada Post from the inside out. Approximately 55,000 Canada Post workers, represented by the Canadian Union of Postal Workers, are currently on strike. Mail and parcels aren't being processed or delivered, some post offices are closed, and service guarantees are suspended. This is déjà vu for Canadian businesses and customers, as workers went on strike last November over similar issues for over a month. Now, less than a year later, we're back to square one, and this time, the stakes are even higher. The union demands a 24% wage increase over 4 years to keep pace with inflation, plus enhanced benefits. These benefits include coverage for fertility treatments and gender-affirming care. Workers argue they deserve fair compensation. But here's the problem: Canada Post is broke, on track to lose $1.5 billion in 2025. They lost $448 million in just the first half of this year, compared to $30 million last year, a loss of approximately $10 million per day. The federal government has even stated that Canada Post is effectively insolvent. To survive, Ottawa is calling for Canada Post to end home delivery and close some rural mail outlets. Canada Post says the union's demands would add billions of dollars in long-term fixed costs that they simply cannot afford. It's an impossible situation. Workers want more, but the company is running out of money. Now let's talk about the real damage being done. During the strike, businesses are scrambling. They're switching to private couriers like Purolator, UPS, and DHL, often paying premium prices to keep operations running. Invoices are delayed, payments aren't arriving, and customer satisfaction is plummeting. But here's the critical part: businesses aren't just switching temporarily, they're leaving permanently. After last year's strike, 13% of small firms moved away from Canada Post for good. And a recent poll shows that 2/3 of small business owners would permanently switch if another strike occurred. Well, guess what? Another strike is occurring. Current data reveals that 63% of businesses plan to permanently abandon Canada Post due to uncertainty and repeated disruptions. When you can't rely on a service, you find alternatives, and once businesses make that switch, they rarely come back. This creates what economists call a death spiral, and it goes like this: strike happens. Businesses switch to reliable private couriers, and Canada Post loses customers and revenue permanently. With less money coming in, their financial crisis deepens. They're already losing $10 million a day. Now they're losing even more. With worsening finances, they have even less ability to meet worker demands, which increases labor tensions. This leads to more strikes, which drives away more customers, and the cycle repeats. Canada Post has already seen a 50% drop in parcel volume year over year, largely due to these labor disputes. During last year's strike alone, about 15% of businesses shifted away permanently. Now we're seeing another massive exodus. The union says this strike is about defending a public service that communities across this country rely on every single day. But here's the tragic irony: each strike undermines that very public service by driving away the customers who fund it. So where does this leave us? Canada Post is caught between workers demanding fair wages and a financial reality that can't support those demands. Businesses are abandoning ship in record numbers, and rural and remote communities who depend on Canada Post are left with fewer options. And taxpayers may be left holding the bag for a failing Crown corporation. This isn't just a strike, it's an existential crisis. Unless something changes dramatically, we may be watching the slow-motion collapse of an institution that served Canadians for over 150 years. The question is, can Canada Post survive, or have these repeated strikes already sealed its fate?